All right, let's look at the homework 6, problem number 1. All right, so we want to use row operations to solve this system of linear equations. All right, so let's do that. So I'm gonna bring up a calculator. Oops, it's hiding the problem. All right, so here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a matrix corresponding to this system of linear equations. So we're going to go to second and a matrix, right? And we want to edit matrix, so we're going to go to edit, right? And we can use any of these guys, but I'm going to just go ahead and use the very top one, A, right? So we're gonna need two rows because we have two equations, and then we have two variables on the right hand side, so we need to have three columns. So it's a two, enter, and then three, enter. It's already in there, and so you just have to enter row by row. So it's gonna be three, enter. Next one is four, enter, and one, enter, and 1, enter, -2. So we have to be careful. When you do a -2, you have to use this one instead of the minus sign. So you have a -2, enter, and a 7, enter. All right. So we have this matrix here, and we can just go back. Right. So what we want to do is we want to edit, apply row operations to a matrix. So here, I'm going to just go ahead and then bring it out and see what we have. So matrix. All right. So I'm going to just choose 1. All right. So that's matrix A. If you hit enter, right, it tells you what you have so far. All right. Then what we want to do is to solve this equation, system of equations, I'm going to apply row operations to get 1 here, and a 0 here, and a 0 here, and 1 here. And what shows up on the right hand side is going to be the x value and the y value. In this case, x1 value and x2 value. All right, so let's do that. All right, since I have 1 already here, but I would like to have 1 up here. So what you want to do is just swap these rows. All right, so let's try that. So we're going to go to second, then so go to matrix, and we want to do math with it. All right, then I guess I can find a row swap there. So we're going to swap rows, exchanging rows. So that one. All right, so we have that. And then we're going to work on the matrix there. So I'm going to just use answers. So second, then negative sign, right? So that tells you that. So this takes the result from the previous computation, and then we're going to just apply swapping. So I'm going to swap first row and the second row. So I would probably say comma, right? First row and the second row. Right? Then enter. Right? So as you can see, the first row and the second row are switched. You know, the second row became the first row, and first row became the second row. All right. So we got 1 here. All right. So next thing we want to do is we want to get a 0 here. All right. So you always use this 1 to eliminate that guy. All right, so we're going to do, all right, go to matrix again. All right, then we're going to do a math with it. All right, then we're going to choose multiply row and add. So we're going to do that. All right, then we're going to multiply first row by -3 and add it to that. So it's going to be -3. All right, then comma. Then we're going to use the matrix, the previous matrix, so you use answer. And multiply the first row, so it's going to be 1. Then add it to the second row. right? Then hit enter. Right? So you can see that we could get the 0 here, right? The next step is we're going to turn this 10 into 1. So the easy way to do that is divide or multiply by 1/10. So let's do that. So I'm going to go to a matrix again, right? I'm going to do math with it, right? And then we're going to pick multiply row. So you have that. So I'm going to just go up a notch and then here, right? So multiply row by 1/10. So I'm going to just put 1 over 10, then comma, and then take that previous result, so answer, right? Then we're going to apply that to second row, so it's 2, right? Then hit enter. All right, so now we got 1 here. All right, then I'm going to multiply the second row by 2, then add it to the first row so that we can get a 0 there. All right, so go to matrix again. Try to do math here. All right, so multiply and add. All right, so we're going to multiply by positive 2 because we want to get rid of negative 2. And then we're going to do the answer, previous result. And then let's see, multiply the second row, so it's a second row. And then add it to the first row, right? Then hit enter. Right? So you can see that now we could turn this into 1001. Right? The reason why we want to do that is this matrix tells you exactly what the x1 value, x2 value is, because if you translate the first row into an equation, it basically says that 1x1 plus 0x2 is equal to 3. So it's a long way of saying x1 is equal to 3. Here, 0x1 plus 1x2 is equal to negative 2, which means that the x2 is negative 2. So x1 is 3 and x2 is negative 2. Right? So that's what the number 1 is asking you to do. So you use basically the Gaussian elimination to solve this system of linear equations using one row operation at a time, because actually the graphing calculator has a function that's all that row operation in one shot, but I would like you to do one row operation at a time. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.